Good afternoon, and thank you for coming out this afternoon on a glorious Sunday afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. Like the others, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we stand and speak today, and pay my respects to elders past and present. In acknowledging our Indigenous people, we acknowledge a relationship of migration between us and them, and acknowledge the pain they have endured as refugees on their own land. May we, as a nation, through recognising Indigenous rights and correcting our wrongs, embrace refugees with the humanity that they deserve. This was and always will be Aboriginal land, and the rest of us share the migrant story. We currently have over 65 million refugees globally, and we continue to see, and as long as we continue to see war as a solution, we will continue counting. Sadly, our focus has been on the demonisation of victims rather than the underlying causes and solutions. The reality is the vast majority of refugees are never resettled. Over 90% of refugees are forced to live for years and sometimes decades in refugee camps, denied of basic human rights, education and dignity, and in complete dependence on the limited international aid that they receive. What began as a temporary solution has become the permanent existence for the majority of refugees. A situation that has been exacerbated by the resistance of the states to be forthcoming in welcoming refugees. When developing nations in the Middle East and Africa are embracing 90% of the world's refugees, and comfortable nations like ours need to be convinced that vulnerable people seeking our protection need to preserve our cultural identity and serve our economic interests, then the disparity is slowly eroding some of our basic ethics. Human movement across the globe is not a new concept, nor is the idea of people arriving by boat. In fact, 1788 saw the first and largest boat of immigrants arrive to Australian shores. But sadly, over the last 15 years, we have seen an alarming attitudinal shift towards people seeking refuge and asylum, especially those arriving by boat. I don't know how many of us cringed every time we heard the words, "We've stopped the boats." But I have no doubt there were many of us. A statement that was bantered around as a political trophy, leaving a sense of despair at the options now left for those desperate for a solution. Our detention centres carry an underlying statement: reach our shores and we'll punish you. After enduring horrific conditions in a desperate attempt to just simply exist, they're met with the systemic cruelty of detention centres resembling concentration camps, completely stripped of human dignity, and that is where they are meant to stay, indefinitely, without help or hope. Keeping them there in the hope that out of sight, out of mind might work and will make it illegal to blow the whistle on what's really happening inside. You see, empathy is a beautiful gift, and reverse the scenario and every single one of us would hop on a boat if it meant a chance at life. It's a choice between the possibility of dying at sea or dying on land, and death is the only common denominator. They leave traumatised by the terrorism of the states and arrive to be terrorised further on the borders of our shores, and we are meant to believe they are the ones to be feared. Somehow in this twisted argument, the victims are now the villains. Myths are used to manipulate and garner support for a political agenda that has lost its moral compass. Focusing on refugees and those who help them as the criminals helps to deflect from our responsibility to the victims. That somehow we were being protected from terrorists, yet our troops were still on Middle Eastern soil. It seems the borders were closed in only one direction. Treating people people badly does not normally earn brownie points with the Australian voters. Australians have long been vocal champions for doing what is right, and so words like queue jumpers, illegals, border protection, threat, swamp, invasion, people smugglers and terrorists all became part of a carefully calculated rhetoric designed to influence public opinion that those escaping terror and fear must be feared.
We won't be fooled!
Well, let me say the effects of this rhetoric has been felt deeply and personally. There were subtle and other times bold and arrogant statements insinuating that the migration of our parents and grandparents was a mistake. As the children of migrant parents, we watched our parents silently struggle in a foreign land, nonetheless appreciative of the opportunities at a better life. My father travelled Australia, often leaving his family for months at a time to work on projects that built this country. He spent the last part of his working life working on Australian Navy ships, not a day on welfare, and not once in trouble with the law. And he raised 4 tertiary educated children who followed in his footsteps. So why were we a mistake? He was a simple man who gave back to the country that gave to him. And this is the common story of most migrants. Earlier this week, we saw the devastation of another chemical weapons attack in Syria, a war crime against defenceless civilians, and then a hospital treating the 600 or so victims was also targeted. While we were still being moved by the images of children convulsing on the streets, frothing at the mouth and gasping for air, world leaders were quick to support an American invasion destined to cause more of the same. And how do we respond? We respond by closing our borders, standing with a checklist, asking, what is your faith and what can you offer for the betterment of my country? As Australians, are we not better than that? Have we not learnt the lessons of history? And why is it so difficult to understand that peace is never a byproduct of war? As it stands, there are currently 5 million Syrian refugees and a further 280,000 who are trapped under siege with nowhere to go. I ask, what is their crime and why don't they deserve a chance to live? What credibility do Western governments have telling us they're protecting us from terrorism when their answer to terrorism and war is more terrorism and war? And what moral ground do they have when they can discriminately select who deserves to live based on faith and sect? I ask that we keep being their voice. We keep telling their stories. Let's humanise the demonised by giving them back their dignity. Let's challenge the myths, reject the fear-mongering and encourage others to do the same. Let's hold those elected to speak in our name to account. May we never lose or be desensitised to the pain and suffering of refugees. May empathy reside in our quest for solutions. And there is no shortage of people willing to help. And our NGOs and government organisations that support refugees do an amazing job. Wouldn't it be more credible and humane to redirect the money spent on detention centres back into the centres that rebuild lives and sustain communities? When most of the world has turned their back on refugees, your compassionate voice is often what they rely on to give them hope. And you know, on this glorious Palm Sunday, and every Sunday and every day, I do really, really wish you peace. Thank you.